Maybe it's not running. Oh, there we go. So there's a response. Okay. So because we have this as a rule, we can now call this from our interface. So what we want to do, let's have a look here, return value. And let's get this. Response. We'll just get it down to the fields that we need. Should give us a dictionary. Perfect. So we can save that. Now we want to integrate this with our process, but the other thing we want to do is you can see here we're using the developer key. So what I've done is I created a constant to save that, so we can reference that using the constant within our rule, so we don't need to pass it in. We can remove that parameter. The other thing is the date of birth needs to be formatted in this way. So if we pass the date of birth as a date, and then what we can do is create a rule here to format that particular date. So what we can do is create an expression rule. We can call this LR formats. MOI date. Format date MOI. This will take a rule, input it as a date. And we'll use the text function, which we pass in the date, and we want to format it with day, month, year. You test that out. That will give us the correct format for the web service. Okay. So we save that. And then if we go back to our rule, we can then call our rule to format the date. And if we test that again, 04/11. Okay, let's save that. So let's integrate this to our main form. So if we open our request form, we capture the national ID, but we're not capturing the birth date of the person. So we need to capture that in order to use the web service. So what we're going to do is extend our request CDT. And let's add in a new field. Called date of birth. We can save that. And then once that's saved, we just need to republish it on the database. So here we can verify. It will say there's a new field, and we publish that. So that's been published to the database. Next thing we want to do is go to our license request form. That's verified. And we want to add in a new field. So here we want to capture the national ID and the date of birth and return some details from that. So how about we put in a new section, a new box, and we just call this MOI details. And here we take the national ID. Well, first of all, we'll put a column in there. We take the national ID, and we also have a new date to take the date, and we also let's put a button in there. So we'll change this to a side by side. And we'll put the date, and we will also add in a button to query the web service. So what we can do now is date of birth, and we can save this to date of birth, and then with our button, we want to what we want to do here is let me just go up. Nope, start. Okay, perfect. So what we want to do is click on button, and let's say search MOI, and it's going to return some details. So let's capture the which fields do you require from to be returned? To be displayed.
The name.
The name and last name, and we'll take nationality. I'll just do those three fields. So if we go back to our form, let's put in some columns underneath. And here we can put in 1, 2, and 3. So this is first name. Last name. And it's the third one we want. We'll take nationality. So these are going to be read-only. So let's make them read-only. And let's also add that to our CDT. So we've got first name, last name, and nationality. Oh. And let's save that. Okay. And once that's saved, again, we're going to publish those tables. So I'll just do that again. And then we can start to integrate the fields. So we'll save and publish. And that should be complete. Right. So we go back to our form. And we can map these fields to the CDT. So first name, display value is going to be first name, last name, would be last name, and nationality would be nationality. So when we search, we want to call the web service the web service rule. So if we go back to our button and we look at, open up the expression, we can say that we want to do a save into, and this will allow us to call the rule. And we want to save how are we going to do this? Let me think for a second. I've got the web service. Let's use the details. So this will be in I'm just having a blank. Let me think for a second. It's going to be in, hit the button, calls web service. That's right. We can do a yep. So if we just go into the button, and on the save into, actually no, this is the easy way to do it. So if you look at the expression, actually no. Yeah, so we just do this. Nope, sorry. I've just had a mental blank. I'll just go back here. What we can do is declare a local variable. So if I do a load, and here I declare a local, which is the MOI data. And then what I can do is on my search, I can do a bang save to my local variable, which will be the rule for the subprocess. And we want to pass it the date of birth, which is in our CDT. We also want to pass it the ID number, which is also in our CDT. National ID. So that will give us the data. And then for first name, that can give us the actually, no, that's not what I want. Sorry, I've just done this the wrong way. Yep. Okay, so then on here, we can then access that. So it'll be local.my data, and it's going to be first name. Oh, I didn't save it. And we'll try it for the last name. Oh. Set that up. Okay, let's try that out. So then if I take national ID number, and then we take the date of birth, so 04/11/1987. Change that to a text field. And then we hit search. That should give us the information that we need. All right, what's happened to you? So let me just try that again.
Ben?
Yeah.
The problem here, national ID is integer.
No, I've changed it.
Text.
I've changed it to a text.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's loaded up properly. Let me check that. It's because it's my type in here as well.
Yes, the type is this what I meant.
Yeah, sorry. Just fix that up. And I'll just redeploy.
يا صبايا عارفين ليش عمل هيك؟ You know why he did this?
No.
Because national ID is text is integer in the database, and the number of the ID is bigger than the size of integer naturally. So it should be text as a data type. أعيد؟ لأنه الناشونال ID integer بالdatabase. It should be text مش integer.
Yeah, I'm just going to create a new field because I don't have access to the database. I'm changing the type, so I'm just going to change that back. And I'll just say NID. That can be text. Okay, let's save that. Just to get through.
Why you did another field?
Because the database, I don't have access to the database. We need to modify the table, the type. So I'm just going to create a new one for the demo. Otherwise, you just go into the database and just change the type from integer to text.
عندكم على الأوراكل. على الأوراكل المفروض تتغير، لأن الأوراكل ما سمح بالتغيير. عشان هيك عمل فيلد جديد. Okay.
Yeah, if I was using the cloud database, I just would have gone in and changed it.
محمد وفي بن.
مستر محمد أبو سنة.
حياك الله.
This is issue on time or at the time only.
صراحة ما فهم. I cannot hear you. Come near the mic.
هو دلوقتي عمل كولوم تاني تمام. لأن الداتابيز أوراكل ما قبلتش معاه.
صح.
طيب هل ده دي مشكلة مستمرة ولا ده يعني ممكن معالجتها بعد كده؟
سهلة. بتروح على اوراكل نفسه بتغير الحقل تخليه سترينج.
يعني انا لما احتاج اعمل حاجة زي كده بغيرها من الاوراكل نفسه، ما بغيرهاش في الابيان.
لا، بتغير بابيان وبتغير باوراكل. تعمل فيريفاي بابيان بيوافق على الفيريفيكيشن خلاص. اوكي.
Okay, let's try it now. Web service has just been called. And let's try that again. I think it's slow web services. Let's see. It's just querying the web service. Thing's going to. Okay, why did it come back now? I don't think it found anything.
Are you sure from the data?
I'm looking for the MIY web service. I'm just hang on. All right, let me just get rid of this. Let's see what the issue was. Looks like it's down. Cannot get a connection.
الويب سيرفيس is down. تشيكوها من عندكم. الويب سيرفيس مش عم بلقطها يعني صارت داون.
بيروح اوكي بيروح يشوف.
Okay. Then he's going to check it out for you.
Okay. Great. Yeah, it's very slow.
This is .NET. The code here. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
I think you should stop bumping the service.
All right, we can move on anyway until it comes back. Just put that there. Yeah, it's down. Okay. So we can come back to that. The other thing we want to capture is that we don't have is the mobile number. So let me just add that to our request because we need the mobile number for the message. Okay. And I'll keep that as text. So I'll just save that. Okay, let's add a mobile number here. Let's put it. We can have there. I'm just going to refresh it to get the new CDT. So for mobile number, we want to save that. Okay, let's save. So what we want to do next, if we look at our process model, we fill in the data, we send the request, we request to be added to the list, we want to send an SMS and then route it to the first employee approval, okay? So let's go to our process model. So we submit, we save the data. Next thing we want to send an SMS, okay? So let's get rid of our placeholder and let's add in a sub-process. To here. Send SMS. And let's plug in the process model that we created for that. So if we go to LR, license request, we got send SMS, and the message. So the mobile number is going to be the mobile number. And the message is going to be, for example, we can use the concat function. And we want to say, dear. First name. Your new license request has been submitted. Okay, so that will be the message that's sent. Okay, let's save that. And then the next, so that will run in parallel. But then also too, we want to go to the first approval, which is for the employee to approve. Okay. So if we go back, where's my, here we go. So we come into here. And we look at our assignments. So we've assigned it to our employee group. And we'll come back to that form. So let's test that. Is the web service up yet? For the Is the MOI web service back up and running?
No, still not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Let's just test it with that then. So if we go to our form and refresh our form, so you can see now we have our details. We can't submit that just yet, but can you give me a mobile number I can use that will send you a message?
05
05
444
444
80 5 80.
Okay, let's save that. And we'll just put in here. London for me. Shop license. So we'll just go through. And put some data in. And we'll upload the license. Okay, now we hit submit. Oh, yeah. We'll just put that in. Hit submit. So if you now look at our process, all right, so we have a problem. What was the problem? So here we can do some debugging. We can see we had an error. And the error is why didn't it not save mobile number? Okay. Invalid identifier don't. What's going on there? So let's just have a look. All right, let's close that. Let's have a look. Text, that's fine. Okay, mobile numbers text, that's fine. Didn't it like? Okay, there's a problem there. Okay, that's text has got it. Narrow curve, trying to write data. Could not execute batch updates. Invalid identifier. Data type. Okay, something's gone wrong there. Let's just check the data type is okay. Let me just re-verify. Okay. This might be why. All right, this should work now. So I restart this. Okay, so I just forgot to publish the data store. And now, did you get an SMS message?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. Oops, my bad. I forgot to publish it. So if you don't publish the process model, it uses the previous version of it. So now that I've published it, let me just redo it, and we should get a message through to you. So let me just add this in. We hit submit. And if we go back to our monitoring, okay, so
Yeah, I got the
you got the message? Perfect. And it should have said dear blank because we haven't got the name. Yep, perfect. Okay, so we've got that now. We've sent the SMS. The next thing is the license approval. And this is where we can build out a new interface to do the approval. So here, send to the employee. The employee can either add with the reject reason or modify, send an SMS or approve it. Okay. So let's create an interface for that. So if we go into our process model, this is our task. And here we want to, in our form, we want to add a new interface there. Okay, so if we go into our, and create new interface, and we say LR, employee approval. Or so you have different options here. We can create one from scratch with the particular information that they need to see, or we can also reuse other interfaces. So if, for example, we reuse this if we to use the form again, or we can just create our own one. So we'll just create our own one, and we'll just keep it basic, employee approval, for example, and we want to pass in our request information. So LR, so request, and that is LR request. And then from that, we want to have some information. So let's just pass in, for example, we may want to view the license upload, and so we just put in just a couple of columns here. Let's put in the ID, and we can also put in the first name. What else do we have? Let's put in the main type and subtype. Just for examples. And then let's show the document that was the license. So here we want to have a document viewer underneath. And let's make that short for now. So this is the uploaded license. So let's associate these to their fields. So this is going to be a read-only. And this is going to be displayed from national ID. And then this is main type. Main type, and that's also going to be read-only. And then this is going to be the subtype. And that's going to be required. Not required, sorry, read-only. And then the license upload, we want to associate that with the document that we submitted. So this get rid of that. This is going to be the request dot license uploaded attachment. Okay. So what we can do to test this is we can use some test information, and we can pull one from the database. So we have a rule to get that. Get request, where ID, I think, what number have we submitted? Look at all licenses. ID number 24. Okay. What's the ID 4? There it is. So we test it. And we can see we've got our information from the database. And then we want to give some approval buttons. So what we can do here is we can put in, for example, a radio button down below. And here we can say approval decision. And the decisions that we had were reject, modify, or approved. So let's modify that. So we can say here, reject, modify, approve.
Ben, do you remember that your database was numerical for the division, integer? So
yes.
So the save value should be 1, 2, 3 or something.
I don't think I've captured the approvals in my database. Let me just check. Where's my CDT gone?
By the way, we've checked the web service.
Yes, is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
All right, let's just check it.
You can check it.
Perfect. Okay. So let me just get this. Okay, and let me just check it. Let's do a quick test. Brilliant. Okay, so that should work now. Let's save that. And if we go back to here, okay, so let's just refresh this. National ID, date of birth is the 11/1987. Brilliant, and there it is there. Okay. So now that we have that, we just want to save that information to our CDT. So I'm going to do that on the submit button. And if I change my expression, I'm going to do a save into. But because I'm saving the web service information to a local variable, I just now want to save this into my CDT on submission.
let me explain this in Arabic to allow me.
Yeah.
صبايا اللي صار هو خزن قيم الخدمه الالكترونيه بمتغير محلي على الفورم، عرفه بلوكال قبل شوي بالكود لو شفتوه. هلا شو بيعمل هو بيرجع الداتا اللي هي جايه من ويب سيرفيس متخزنه في اللوكال على السي دي تي الرئيسيه تبعت الفورم. مفهوم هاي النقطه؟
ايوه.
اوكي ممتاز. اوكي
And the other one was the nationality. Oh. Okay. So if I test that now, let me just fill in everything else because it's required. So what we do when I submit now, we should see the first name, last name, and nationality be filled in too, so that will be saved to the database. Okay. So on our form, we have the approval decision. We have a reason, and that can be sent back, and a reject reason. Okay. So if what we can do now is add a comment to our request, for example. So let's go back and add a comment field. And we might make that 1,000.
Ben, are you saving the decision somewhere in the CDT?
The what, sorry?
The decision.
Oh, no, let me add that. So here, let's say employee review decision. And then let's also capture who did it. By. And let's capture who when they did it on. For example.
بنات هو بدي يخزن الديسيجن، بدي يخزن مين عمل الديسيجن والتاريخ تبع الديسيجن. هاي براكتس انه يخزن الباي والاون. اوكي.
ازاي هو هيخزن الديسيجن؟
ممكن تعلي صوتك؟ او تيجي جنب المايك؟
لو سمحت. هو دلوقتي هيخزن الديسيجن للامبلويي.
صح.
انا عندي دلوقتي اكتر من ديسيجن بيتاخد على نفس اللايسنس.
طيب
فكيف هو هيحفظ او هيعمل سيف للديسيجن في ريكورد واحد؟ مش المفترض ان هي يعني في زي تيبل تاني محطوط فيه الديسيجن ويعمل له انتجريشن مع اللايسنس ولا ايه؟ ولا الموضوع هنا مختلف؟
Ben, he's asking that they have multiple decisions. And
okay,
the column is add just for, you know, one-to-one.
Yeah. So what, one to many?
So it's one to many, the decision.
Okay, so what we can do is create a new data type. And we'll call it approvals. And then we'll create a new table structure and link it to the request. So we have one to many. So here
واضحه شو بده يعمل هون؟ هو بده يمشي تيبل ثاني فيه كل الديفيجنز يربطه زي ما حكيت انت، مش عارف مين حكى هلا، يربطه بالتيبل هذا 1 تو ماني بصير ريليشن شيب. اوكي؟
معنى كده ان الكولوم اللي عملها الامبلوييه في التيبل الاساسي هتتلغي وهيتحط اي دي للتيبل ده، صح كده؟
هذا رح تصير علاقه ما بين التيبل تبع اللايسنس والتيبل تبع الديفيجنز اسمها 1 تو ماني ريليشن شيب.
اتس اوكي ماشي.
Okay, so here we've got our table. A comment, we might have a few more characters, so we'll do 1,000. All right, so we save that. And then if we go back to our requests, let's remove these fields. We don't need them anymore. And we don't need comment. But then what we want to add is the approvals. So approvals. And that's going to be the new type that had. Okay. And we'll make that a. So we see the foreign key relationship. And have many of those. And if we go into our options, we will just say that you can see that the parent is request, the child is the approvals, and we will specify the database table, the column of the ID. So this would be the request ID. Okay. And we hit save. Once that's saved, we just go and republish. Okay, so let's publish that. And that should create a new table in our database for the approvals. Okay, perfect. So if we go back to our form, let me just refresh this to get our new CDT. Re-put the test data in. We can save this so then it let me just set that as a default. Okay, so now if we look at our requests on the side here, we have a section to capture approvals. So what we can do now is capture the approval decision. We want to capture some comments. So we'll put a paragraph here. approval comment. Okay, and great. So then when we save, we want to add that to our approvals. So what we can do is when we hit submit, we can do a new save into, and we can do, so what we can do is a bank save, and we want to append to RI approvals.
While you're doing it, Ben, I will explain what you're doing. Okay? صبايا انتبهوا علي بليز. الابند هذه فانكشن بتضيف على array لانه هو بده يخزن كانه مالتيبل فاريبلز. الابروفلز لانه اكثر من واحد ما راح يعمل سيف دايركت، راح يعمل سيف ابند اللي هو ضيف. اوكي مفهومي هاي؟ هاي فانكشن موجوده جوا ابيان. يعني إلها سانتاكس معين append وبحط فيها الفاريبلز المطلوبه. الفانكشن سيف في للحفظ. السيف تاخذ تو فاريبلز اللي هو التارجت والفاليو. التارجت اللي بتخزن فيه الفاريبل والقيمه رح تتخزن. اوكي فهو ايش بيعمل؟ قاعد بيحكي append للاري اللي هي approvals. اوكي بحط فيها القيم من الفورم اللي هي قيم الابروفل ديسيجن ابروفل كومنتس. واضحه؟ مش واضحة صح؟ ولا عيد؟ هلو؟
لا واضحة.
اوكي. لاحظوا ابيان قديش حلو بخليك تحط اسم الباراميتر، كومنت نقطتين بتحط الفاريبل، ديفيجن نقطتين قيمة الفاريبل. هذه اللي قدامكم عبارة عن سانتاكس بابيان لازم تتعلموه طبعا بكورس، وهو سهل يعني انتوا تخيلوا صعب بس هو كثير سهل. يعني ابند حط فيه الفاريبل اللي هو ابروفلز، بعدين نوع الفاريبلز حطوا اللي هو الار ابروفلز، بعدين حط القيم هاي اللي جايبها من الشاشه حطها بالمتغيرات هذول اللي راح تتخزن كانها اري. يعني هاي اول الرول الاول. هلا بدي اعرف اللوكال فاريبلز اللي هو راح يخزن فيهم الاشياء هاي، عشان هو عمل التخزين قبل ما يعرف الفاريبل، هيك طلع عنده ايرور. هذا بضبط الموضوع.
اوكي طب بس اشرف عنده نقطة.
امرك اشرف، يلا جو اهيد يا اشرف احكي لي.
مستر محمد what is the meaning of license upload؟
ايه؟
يعني what is the meaning of license upload؟
واتس ايه؟
inform
معلش السؤال مش فاهم.
license upload. license upload.
مالها؟
يعني ايه المقصود بيها؟ هل الاتاتشمنت للرخصة
لا
او الفايل؟
مش هو عمل ابلود لفورم او دوكيمنت باول فورم هذيك؟ هلا بدي اعرضها عشان اعملها ريفيو.
طيب لو انا طب اوكي معلش اصل انا كنت في الجزئيه دي يعني كنت بره بس بتشيك على السيرفيس. طيب انا لو عندي يعني مالتي اوف اتاتشمنت ازاي اظهرهم في نفس يعني تحت بعض مثلا، ولا اظهرهم ازاي يعني؟
ساعتها ما بتعمل فيو زي هيك، تعملهم لينكس خلي الواحد يشوفهم.
وده اصلا يعني الطبيعي ان اي لايسنس لها مالتي اتاتشمنت، فبالتالي مش يعني في كل الاحوال لازم اظهرها له بشكل اوضح او يعني ايه كاتاتشمنت، ما هياش بريفيو له.
انا فاهم عليك، بس انتوا طلبتوا منه يعمل ابلود لدوكيمنت وحده، لو طلبتوا منه يعمل مالتيبل بيسويها، ساعتها ما بيعرضها زي هيك، بيعرضها لينكس. اوكي
ما فيش مشكله.
يعني هي هيك وهيك. هو صراحه حب يفرجيكم كيف تعرضوا فورم دوكيمنت جوا الفورم نفسها which is good يعني صراحه. Ben, I heard my name. Someone is talking about me, a friend.
There's George.
George?
Yeah.
George, the guy I know? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Send him my regards.
I will. We are pending in... Oh, sorry. we need to save into ri.request.
7 meetings in total.
There we go. Oh, what have I done here? Save into request approvals, append. Ah.
I don't know if you have access to it. All the records are all on Salesforce.
Okay.
Maybe
What have I done here? Save into approvals. Append. And if I hit submit, we should have now. We should now have the approvals in there. Brilliant.
I mean, personally, from my point of view, I certainly think we should do it again. I think we should, yeah.
Let me just retest that.
Yes.
Reject. Comments. Hit submit. And if we look at our request, we should have the approvals there ready to be saved. Brilliant. There we go. So now we can capture our approvals. Okay, so I'll hit save. And if we plug in that form to our process, so we go here and select the interface, and it's in the LR rules, employee approval form. Okay. And we pass in the request, which is what we want. And then, okay, so when they submit that, we need to check the status or the decision of the approval, and we either go to modify or reject. So what we can do there is, let's have a look at our process flow. If it's rejected, then we send an SMS. If we go back, where is it? So if it's rejected, let's copy our node over here. We can delete that one and plug that one in there. So send reject SMS, and then that finishes. So we want to say here, change our message. Your new license request has been rejected. Okay. And we could also put in the comment. Let me just save that. We need to do a refresh to get the new CDT. So let me just close that. And then I can reopen. Okay, so yeah, you can send a rejection. And if it's not rejected, if there's a modify, then we can go back to the user. So we can come back to that. So this is going to be so what we can do there is check the status. So we need to make a decision. And we want to check approvals, the decision. So if it equals, what are the options? Reject.
Arab tech. Why does that ring a bell? Arab tech.
Then we want to go to send reject, new condition, if it equals modify. Then we go to modify, else we go to the help directory review. Okay, so, and let's just take the first option, most recent. Oh.
Let me explain why you're adding the one here. The reason adding this.
Yeah.
صبايا حط رقم واحد هو عشان هي صارت مصفوفة هاي. تذكروا عملها تيبل ثاني وخلاها العلاقة 1 to many، وهو بيعرف انه الديسيجن رح يتخزن باول رو اللي هو ديسيجن لاول حركة. هلا المالتيبل ديسيجنز لما يكون في ديسيجنز بعدين بالبروسيس انتم بتعملوها رح تكون الديسيجن الثاني رقمه 2. هيك فاهمين علي؟ ولا عيد؟ بنات احكوا لي فاهمين علي ولا لا؟
الديسيجن رقم 2 اللي حضرتك بتتكلم عليه ده المقصود بيه يعني موافقه المدير مثلا او موافقه الامبلويي النكست امبلويي.
شو العلاقه 1 to many بالديسيجن؟ اول ديسيجن اول ديسيجن شو لو انت بدك تحكيها مصفوفه لو تعمل سيلكت ستيتمنت اوكي بالعقل يعني بتجيب لك الرخصه والمالتيبل ديسيجن صح؟ فاول ديسيجن رقمه 1، ثاني ديسيجن رقمه 2، ثالث ديسيجن رقمه 3. واضحه؟
ايوه
فهمت علي؟
واضحه.
اوكي شكرا.
There's many different ways that you could do this. This is just the quickest way at the moment. Basically, I'll just take the most recent approval that's in the list, which is the one straight after the approval. So what I've done here, I've added a reject SMS, a modify SMS. The modify also needs to go back around. So in doing that, we can put in a new user task, and we can put that, for example, to the initiator. So modify request. Okay, and we're going to assign that back to the person who submitted it, so the process initiator. And the form that we want is the one that we already have. So if I go to my LR rules, I can reuse my request form, and we're going to pass in request, and read only is going to be false. So we can edit. Okay. So then what we can do is after modify, we can delete that one. We can put it up to here, and then when they submit, we can move it. We just puts in here. Move that across. So then we have our loop. Okay. So here, if we had modify, we send an SMS, and then we send it back to the initiator to update. Okay. And then we can follow through. So let's test that and see if it's working. Any questions so far on what we've seen? Okay, perfect.
No one doesn't have a question.
So let's see how it works. I'm sure we'll find a problem, but we can work through that. Let's go have a look. So let's go new request. Let's put it in, national ID, and then the date of birth, 04/11/1987, the mobile number. Whoop. And we hit search. Great. So here let's put in London. So just type shop license. Procedure is issue new license. So a workshop. Fixing radiators. Customer types in the end. Shop. City. 219. Whoop. Building license. Okay, so we hit submit. And we should see, we should have a new license submitted. We do, fixing radiators. If we go to our process model, so we can, did you get the SMS? So we can see that our message that was sent.
وصلتك المسج مشاهد؟ Okay, she got the message.
Perfect. And then we go to our first step, which is the license approval. So if we go and have a look at the form. All right. So what we forgot to do, we forgot to add the information, pass the information through. So if we look at our form, we have the employee approval form, but we didn't pass in the request to it. So if we go to data, we can pass in the request. And then when it comes back out, we want to save it back into request. So hit save and publish. And let's just try that one more time. So new request. 1987.
This stage 3 is one stage 4, one stage 3. Which we also think is not bad. It's not bad down. I think that's pretty good.
Okay, that's submitted. Let's submit. Let's check our process.
All right, will you come back to me and let me know?
So now if we open our form, okay, so you can see that it's pulled the information, we can accept the task. And then we want to put in, let's say it's going to be a modifier. Please modify your request. And then we hit submit. If we refresh it, you can see now that it's detected that it's been a modifier. It's in the modify SMS. And then it should come back to modify. So if we open up this one now,
I would speak to Mohammed about that.
we get the form. And again, I forgot to link it in. So if we open up our object, so what you can also do in Appian, you can modify an in-flight process. So this one's in flight. I'm just going to hit edit.
Let me explain this. صبايا هو بدي يعدل هون على الرننج فيرجن من البروسيس ويعمل ابلاي للتشينجز على الموديل. فاهمين؟ هو عم بيمرق المتغيرات على التاسك. ذكر ما حكيت لكم عن الجلوبال فاريبل اللي هو البروسيس فاريبل واللوكال فاريبل اللي هو الاكتيفيتي فاريبل. اوكي، فاللي بصير قاعد انه هو نسي يحط يعرف القيمه الفاريبل البروسيس فاريبل على مستوى البروسيس على مستوى اللوكال، عشان هيك بيعمل عمليه التعديل هاي.
Whatever is convenient for you, I don't mind. Whatever works for you.
Well,
You didn't re-kick it, did you?
I thought I did. Oh wait, no, it's already gone through. So I wonder. But if we reapply the approval, it should go through this time. So let me just try that.
Did you apply the changes in the model? Did you?
No, just on this instance. Just
Come over now.
okay, and if you check the form, there we go. We've got the information. So there we can do the modification of the application. So for example, the shop area is outside. It's actually a woman. Then we can submit that. And that will go through. We've saved it back to the database. And we're back to approval. So there we can see we've got a simple loop going. We have our reject. And then basically we can keep going and start to build out the rest of the process. Because the process is much the same, it's the same pattern. Differences I would do here though is because you're starting to use repetition and going through different approvals, I would build a sub-process for that approval, and then you can reuse that sub-process going forward. Any questions on what we're saying here?
Ben, you need to publish this because you did some modification on the instance. You did not apply the changes.
Let me do that now.
I prefer you edit, apply changes, then you save and publish. On the monitored version.
Okay, I'll just do it here.
Okay.
Quickly.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
You mean I should add a sub-process for each repeated process that we are having the
هو بحكي لكم he's saying Bill is saying that because you do have this as a repetitive thing, which is the approval cycle, you can have it as a sub-process. You just pass who's gonna approve to the sub-process, and you keep using the sub-process for approvals. بس هذا شوي ادفانس الحين، يعني انت فاهمين شو بسوي الحين؟
ايوه
خلاص هذا مهم. سيبك من السب بروسيس، السب بروسيس هاي بتسويها لما تشتروا البرودكت. هي الفكره تبعته بدوش يضلكم تعيدوا عمليه الابروفل، تصير عندكم البروسيس كثير كبير كله ابروفلز. المفروض ينحط الابروفل سايكل جوا اجراء مستقل وتناديه انت لما بدك ابروفلز عن طريق السب بروسيس. واضحه؟
ايوه.
Okay, what would you like to see next? Is there anything outstanding that you'd like to see?
بنات عم بسأل بدكم شيء ثاني؟ بدكم تشوفوا شيء ثاني؟
قصدك اللي عندنا في الاكتيف دايركتوري. طيب مع في سارة تسأل كيف ودنا لو نبغى نحول اليوزرز اللي عندنا إلى Appian يوزرز.
اوكي ممتاز. اكتيف دايركتوري عندكم؟
ايوه.
Ben, they're asking how can they create the same users they have in LDAP. But their LDAP is local. I don't think they can connect it to some cloud or to give it you an access to it. Just show them the admin screen and the LDAP and how they can do that.
Yeah, sure. So if you want to connected to LDAP, or if you've got single sign-on using SAML. And in the administration console, this is where you brand your instance, but you've got different options here. So at the moment, we're just using Appian authentication, which is native authentication to Appian. You may want to configure LDAP. And this is where you can enable your LDAP service and point it to a particular group of users that need to be filtered in. And these users then can be synced with Appian. You can also define various SAML identity providers if you have single sign-on within the company. And this is where you would configure this. If you use two-factor authentication, they can also be configured. It's really up to the identity provider that you're using and the options that they have. All the users are managed in the users tab here. So you can see there's a number of users. If this was hooked into LDAP, then they would be synced with your LDAP directory.
فهمتوا؟
لا.
اوكي. هو راح على الادمن سكرين تبعت ابيان، فيها لو طلعت الاوثنتيكيشن على الشمال في كتب LDAP وابيان سامل. اوكي. then press on LDAP please. click on LDAP. اوكي. الالداب هذه بتعرفي فيها موقع الالداب، شو الURL تبعه، شو هي الجروب اللي انت بدك تعمل منها اوثنتيكيشن. الالداب اللي هي عباره عن شجره الالداب، في عندكم جروب معينه محطوط فيها كل اليوزرز تبعون الامانه، حطيها بالدي ان باترن. اللي بيعرف نتوركينج بيعرف عن ايش بحكي. اوكي. وبعدين شايف كبسه كريت يوزرز ابون لوجن، كل يوزر بفوت على السيستم الجديد بيعمل له ابيان يوزر جوا في الداخل من الداب. اوكي. واضحه هاي؟ أعيد. بن راح على الادمن سكرين تبعت ابيان، هاي الادمنستريتور، كبس على LDAP وقال لكم بهاي الشاشه بتعرفوا مواصفات الLDAP تبعتكم اللي هي موقعه وشو هو الجروب اللي انتم بتعملوا منها اوثنتيكيشن. اوكي. في كبسه اسمها كريت يوزرز ابون لوجن اللي هي تحت على اليمين، شفتيها؟ اوكي. لما يجي يدخل اليوزر نيم الباسورد تبعته ويعمل سيف شيل، لما يدخل اليوزر نيم الباسورد بفوت بيعمل له ابيان يوزر في الداخل. اوكي. اذا عندكم ما يسمى بالسنجل ساين اون بتروح على السامل تعملوا كونفيجريشن هنا. واضحه؟
اوكي.
Ben they got it I think.
What was that, Mohammed?
I'm saying I think they understood this.
Okay, yeah.
سارة ومشاعل فاهمين شو بحكي؟
ايوه.
اوكي.
ايوه.
اوكي فاهمين. انا عارف انكم صايمين وانا صايم كمان، بس شدوا صوتكم. اوكي. فيري جود. اني في عندكم اسئله ثانيه؟
تمام كذا، ما في احد عنده سؤال.
طيب شو يسوي كمان هلا؟ انه بدنا نسوي شيء ثاني ولا خلص هيك؟
ايوه ودنا نسوي ايش نسوي؟ الفعاليات نسويها بكره يعني. ايوه في. هو اليوم الين الساعة 1 اصلا ما خلص، تونا باقي نص ساعة. ها؟ ايوه الساعة 12:30. ايوه.
Hold on a sec, Ben.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, someone is asking about how. Some of us cannot understand how we do variables and how we can call them, and
Okay.
we are not really have the clear understanding of the variable concept.
Sure. Let me explain.
The process variable.
Yeah. So there's process variables, and then there's variables that you use within the interfaces as well. So I'll start with the process variables. So within a process, right, you'll define certain variables that are used within the process. So for example, here we've got the request CDT, okay? Now, when we start a process, we first launch the form. So here you can see that we have an interface, which is our form, and an input to that interface is the process variable request. If I go to the form, you can see the input for this form is the request. So this is where we pass the process variable into the interface, and then when we hit submit, whatever's in that parameter is then passed back to the process model. Okay. So when we hit submit, that information is then passed back into the process. And then within the process, you can access those variables. If I just go to a new, you can see here process variables. You can access the CDT, or you can access the different variables underneath that. So for example, last name, first name, etc. That's how you can access those. Within the actual interface itself, you've got your rule input, and you've also got local variables. So for example, if I just do a simple one, if I go back and create a new rule, for example, and I'll do the expression rule. And then here, actually, I can show you with the format date. When you create a rule, the rule input is accessed using RI versus rule input, and that's how you can access that parameter. But then also in here, you can define local parameters, local variables using the load. So here I could say local, to say this is a local variable, and this is going to be of, let's say local date. I'll just say date, new date, so we're not confused. And I'm going to save this to that variable. And then the return of this is going to be new date. So what happens here is that when we pass in a date, we access that through the rule input. We apply the function over that, and we're going to save it into a local variable, new date, and then we're going to display the new date. So these local variables can be defined using the load function, and this is within interfaces. Similarly, because this is all expression based, you can use these functions and these variables as well within a process. So when we go to our expression editor, I here could also define a load variable and a local new date, apply some function, some logic. So for example, today, and then I want to do local new date +1 to increase the day by 1. So you can use this logic anywhere within Appian, anywhere there's an expression, you can use this. Does that make it? You may want to explain that a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give me. I'll ask for control if you allow me. Request remote control.
Sure.
Yeah. I sent it to you. Oh. Okay. Just
I'll
allow
just-
me. Yeah. Enter your password and everything. Yeah, that's it.
احنا هو ليه ما عملش
Do I have control now?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
ليش ما
Okay, this is شايفين هذا عبارة عن process فاضي كويس؟ وفي عندي user task هون وعندي link هيك. هلا we need to define process variables.
انت قلت process subject ليش ما في ولا variable؟
اوكي خليكم معي شوي. What is a process variable? Okay, it is a variable that is visible across the whole process. يعني variable مبين قيمته على كل إجراء بكل خطوة بتلاقوه. عشان تعرفوا هذا الفاريبل بتروحوا على فايل properties وبتروحوا variables وبتكبسوا اد. فلاحظوا process variable اد بتحطوا اسم الفاريبل ونوعه. النوع ممكن يكون عبارة عن primitive text integer decimal number date whatever أو structure اللي هو CDT مثل الستراكشر تبع مين اللايسنس. هذا الفاريبل اللي هو process variable 1 ممكن يكون اسمه مثلا ابو سنه variable 1. هاي معناته فاريبل بكون اسمه ابو سنه variable اللي هو انا اسمي عيلتي visible على كل الاجراء. يعني you can use it anywhere you want. يعني راح تلاقوه بالتكست هون. مثلا انا هون عندي فاريبل محلي على مستوى الفورم بقدر اضيفه بسميه مثلا اكس واي زي. الفاريبل هذا محلي على مستوى الفورم نوعه تكست. قيمته بجيبها من وين؟ يا بكتبها كونستانت او بجيبها من فاريبل. كيف بجيبها من فاريبل؟ بختار من هون اسم الفاريبل اللي اخترعته ابو سنه فاريبل. هلا ابو سنه فاريبل اللي هو على مستوى كل الاجراء قيمته راح تتخزن بالاكس واي زي جوا الفورم. واضحه هاي؟
ايوه واضحه.
ممتاز. هلا في عندنا نوع اول اللي هو البروسيس فاريبل وفي عندنا اللي هو الاكتيفيتي فاريبل. الاكتيفيتي فاريبل is the variable that is visible only inside a step. step هاي ممكن تكون input ممكن تكون عبارة عن integration ممكن تكون عبارة عن calling word document whatever. اوكي بس هذول وين راح يكونوا؟ هاي ستيب. شايفين يوزر انبوت تاسك هاي اتس ستيب. الاكتيفيتي فاريبلز تتعرف وين؟ الداتا عند الانبوت هون. هاي محلي على مستوى الفورم. هلا انتم اذا حابين قيمه لما تطلع من التاسك يكون في عندها معادله معينه او اي فانكشن تحطوها جوا الاوتبوت. اوكي فلما يخلص التاسك القيمه اللي جوا الاوتبوت تطلع منها. يعني مثلا انا حابب احسب تاريخ اليوم بلس 1 فبحكي له نيو اوتبوت. اوكي عندي فانكشن اللي هي مثلا لوكال. انا بدي اعمل فاريبل هلا لود بدي احكي له لوكال. هذا فاريبل محلي في داخل الفورم اسمه لوكال مثلا بسميه اكس واي زي ديت فرضا. هذا يساوي today plus 1. اوكي وهلا بدي ارجع اللي هو الاكس واي زي ديت. هلا هذا الكالكوليشن راح تنحل فقط في داخل الفورم. عشان هيك لازم نخزنها في مين؟ بالبروسيس فاريبل عشان اقدر اشوفها بالتاسك اللي وراها. اوكي فالتارجت تبع هاي هون. بس انا حاليا ما عندي فاريبل يخزن التاريخ. فشو بعمل؟ يا بروح على فايل بروبرتيز فاريبل او ابيان يختصر علي حاطط لي الكبسه هاي اللي حابب تضيف بروسيس فاريبل هون فبكبس هون بلس بسمي البروسيس فاريبل فرضا بسميه مشاعر ديت. اوكي ونوعيته هذا ايش؟ ديت لانه انا فعليا جايب الديت ضايف عليه واحد ومرجعه بدي اخزنه بديت. هلا مشاعر الديت عباره عن بروسيس فاريبل راح اقدر الاقيها باي تاسك بعدين. يلا حطيت تاسك هون عملت عليه بروبرتيز ورحت هون ضفت انا انبوت جديد نوعيته ديت. هذا محلي صح؟ بدي اخزن فيه القيمه اللي هي تبعت مشاعر ديت. بختارها من هون بلاقيها هون شايفتيها لان هاي بروسيس فاريبل فصارت قيمه مشاعر مخزنه فين؟ البارام 1 اللي هو البارام 1 وبقدر استعملها في داخل الفورمز انا بعرفها في هاي المنطقه. واضحه؟
ايوه
اوكي now it's clear Ben.
Okay.
how can I get you lose my control? Give up. Yes, I did it.
Okay.
Done.
Okay, anything else to go over while we're here?
خلاص واضحة معك؟ ما في شيء؟
استنى
هم؟
استنى قول له على الموضوع اللي قلت عليه بتاع ليه هو عامل قرية كان مش عامل قرية ولا الصف خلاص بيقى
بس أسأل عن الفاريبل submit.
Okay. They're asking about the submit.
Yes.
Can I answer this? Go to the form. Okay. I will take control. Again.
Yep.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. هلا صبايا يا شباب، الفورم اللي قدامكم طبيعيا عند السبميت القيم اللي في الفورم هاي راح تتخزن في الفاريبل الى الريكوست. هلا هو لانه عنده ويب سيرفيس وهدول القيم مصر والبكري واشرف خزنهم بفاريبل محلي في داخل الفورم. لو ترجعوا للفورم على الاكسبريشن لاحظوا لود هي الفاريبل المحلي اللي هو ام اي داتا، حط له نل يعني بلشوا بنل عشان عند السبميت بده يشغل عند السيرش ام اي بده يشغل الويب سيرفيس ويخزن القيم اللي هي طلعت في داخل الام اي داتا ويطلعها على الشاشه اللي هو اشرف وبكري ومصر. بس هو كمان شو بده القيم اللي هو مصر وبكري واشرف اللي جاي من الخدمه الالكترونيه اللي مخزنه في فاريبل محلي اسمه لوكال ام اي داتا تتخزن في الفاريبل الاي ريكوست. هلا باي ديفولت ابيان ما راح يسمح لي يخزن هذول باي ديفولت هون لانه مخزنهم فاريبل مستقل في داخل الفورم. عشان يخزنوا بهاي راح اسبمت شو عمل؟ حط انا اشوف الكود تبعها بس. اوكي تصير عند السبميت حط الكود تبع السيف انتو. هلا البوتوم ويدجت اللي هي كبسه هاي اوكي فيها بروبرتيز ليبل سيف انتو سبميت ترو ستايل. البروبرتيز بتلاقوها هون شايفين ليبل ستايل كونفيرم مسج ديسيبل. هاي بروبرتيز انت بتقدر تستعملها وتغيرها بشكل دايناميك في داخل الاكسبريشن اذا بدك او حتى على الفورم هون على المكان هذا اوكي. فهو بده يخزن القيمه المحليه شايفينها اللي جاي من الويب سيرفيس. لاحظوا لوكال ام اي داتا فيرست نيم لوكال ام اي داتا لاست نيم لوكال بده يخزنها وين؟ جوا الريكوست. فحط هاي الفانكشن اسمها سيف تاخذ تو بارامترز. البارامتر الاول اللي هو التارجت وين بدي اخزن والبارامتر الثاني اللي هو الفاليو اللي بدي اخزن القيمه اللي بدي اخزنها اوكي. فهاي القيمه الفيرست نيم راح تتخزن في الفاريبل هذا اللي هو على مستوى الفورم كلها. واضحه؟
اوكي واضحة.
اوكي هلا السيف هذه عباره عن فانكشن جوا ابيان لازم تعرفوا عنها. يعني لو رحنا على الدوكيومنتيشن وكتبنا سيف اوكي اللي هي هاي بتفهموا شو هاي اكثر. اوكي في اسئله ثانيه عن موضوع السبميت؟
لا
اوكي
تمام واضح.
perfect. Ben we got it.
All right, perfect.
What else?
الفعاليات
والله انا وجهه نظري ان احنا المفترض نكمل احنا
ايوه
اللي هو هيشتغل بحيث يطبق كده كده انه هيشتغل وبعدين احنا قاعدين نتفرج عليه.
ايوه
مالناش اي لازمه هو قاعد يشتغل واحنا قاعدين نتفرج عليه. احنا لازم نطبق يعني حتى انا بدات على السايت هتلاقيه ليه انا عامل ابلكيشن نفس الابلكيشن اللي هو عامله لازم ماشي معاه بالفيديو يشوف هو بيعمل ايه.
ايوه
وبطبق زي ما هو بيطبق.
ايوه
بعد كده اكيد هيحصل لي اكسبشن في النص احاول ان انا اعرف واحاول ان انا اشوف واعمل زيه. لكن هو شغال وانا قاعد اتفرج عليه وانا كده مش هعمل حاجه.
ايوه صح
كاني بتفرج على الفيلم. فانا وجهه نظري ان هو المفترض يدينا وقت نطبق فيه. بعد كده يكون في ميتنج نعرف اسئله
طيب هو حاط ميتنج بكرة.
قول له ممكن يعني هو انت صاحب الصلاحيه ولا
لا هاني. ها؟ شو؟
احكي.
هلو
Yes.
مستر محمد.
معك.
بس نبي نسأل سؤال بسيط بالانترفيسز. نقدر نفتح انترفيس جواته انترفيس؟
Ben, they're asking you, can you have a link inside the form? When you click it, it will display another form.
Yes. So what you can do here is you can show and hide other interfaces. So for example, if I just do a quick one now, new interface. So LR, let's just say, we'll call it info. And let's just say it has let's just say this one has some columns. And we'll pass in the request. Okay, create, and let's just put 1, 2, 3. For example, let's just save that. What you can do now in the form is you can, let's say we want to have after license upload. So this is by what I can do here. Actually, let me just do it this way. So let's say new section. Okay. And I'm going to call my rule. So LR, and it was info. And that passing the request. So RI request, and I'll pass one more show. Let me just update this.
I can pass variables and use them in this form, right?
Yes. So here I'm going to add another variable. Okay, show when. That's going to be a Boolean. And then on my column layout, I have visibility, only show when my Boolean is true. So RI. Okay. And then I hit save. And then back in my form. If I say show when false, it will disappear. So nothing will show. Okay. But then if, for example, I make that true, then it will show. Now how we can trigger that, so that's using another interface that we've just created. So if we wanted to say have a link, then you could say put on a link, right? And then on that link, we would create another local variable to toggle. So local toggle field, that's false. And then on your link, when we configure that, we can say add a link, and we can just say it's going to be a dynamic link. If we can configure that, we can say show interface. What value do you want to save? We want to make it true. And save it into our toggle. Okay. So then if I save that, hit test, it will be false. So that will, oh, sorry, I need to pass the variable. So if I click on LR info and change that, we can pass the local variable, which is toggle. And that, because it's set to false, because toggle's false, it's passed through as false. But then when I click on show, it's going to make it true, and it will show. So you can start to toggle different interfaces with links and buttons to show and hide different things.
هذا سؤالكم؟
هو سوى هاي بشو يعني نفس شو هذا انت مو قصدك يطلع برا شيء ثاني ايوه خلاص صح.
Okay, perfect. Ben, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do we have the model? Do you remember back 3 or 4 years we had this model screen? Do we have it now or we don't?
No, I think it's coming
Okay.
in the next couple of versions. It's definitely on the roadmap.
Okay, perfect. They had the code like 4 years ago. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah. It's a strange how things come and go.
Yeah. في أسئلة تانية صبايا؟
خلاص بالنسبة لنا ما في أسئلة زيادة.
Okay, they don't have questions. So tomorrow I think you're gonna do a new process. What is the process? مشاعر؟ بكره مش في بروسس ثاني انتم تسووه؟
مو قلتوا هي الرخص الفعاليات الفعاليات.
Yeah, tomorrow, Ben, they want to build another process called license activities. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, if you can share beforehand so I can read it.
مشاعر تقدر تبعتي لنا.
First we want.
Yes.
كيف؟
Go ahead. First you want what?
We want to try يعني نمشي على الخطوات اللي سواها اليوم.
يعني مش حابين تاخذوا بكره؟
إلا إحنا ودنا بس لو نأجل ونخليها.
لا أنا أفضل التالي، خذوا بكره وبعد بكره بلشوا الشغلات هاي.
طب إذا صار عندنا أشياء ما ضبطت ولا؟
صعب احجزه انا طول الوقت، يعني بلش اقول له بعدين هذول الناس صعب احجزهم، فاهم علي كيف؟ يعني هذول سينيور كونسلتنتس فمش سهل احجزهم، فاستفيدوا بكره. اوكي تعلموا قد ما بتقدروا. انتم بتسجلوا قاعدين بتسجلوا الشغل هذا؟
ايوه
يعني عندكم فيديو له صح؟
اي مسجلين.
بيرفكت. اليوم تعلموا هذا، اليوم لما تروحوا خذوا الفيديو تعلموا، وبكره خليه يخلص لكم اللي بدكم اياه عشان نخلص مع ابيان، وساعتها انا بساعدكم اسئله.
خلاص اوكي.
Okay, Ben, tomorrow.
بس برسل لك انا حقة الفعاليات.
Tomorrow they want to do the license activities process. مشاعل, please share it with us. قبل بكره اذا بتقدري ويكون انجليزي الله يسعدك. Okay.
إن شاء الله.
They'll send it to us. I'll send it to you. I think you know your email. So tomorrow we're gonna do this process and we're gonna end it. The ladies will try to figure out what we did today. They have a video recording of it, and they're gonna try to complete the process. And I told them that after tomorrow, Ben, they can ask me anything they want. And if I don't know the answer, I will let you know, Ben.
All right, no worries. Sounds good.
Okay, so we speak tomorrow and enjoy your day. Thank you for everything.
All right, no worries.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, مشاعل,
Bye.
Sarah. Okay, bye-bye.
شكرا لكم. ايوه